Resident Evil 2 Remake came out on the 25th of February 2019, so basically a few days ago. But in those few days, it garnered attention and mainly praise. Is this praise deserved? Stick with this review to find out more. Resident Evil 2 Remake is more of a reimagining than a remake. It sticks with its PlayStation 1 roots but improves in key areas for modern times. In Resident Evil 2 Remake you can play with two characters, Leon S. Kennedy or Claire Redfield. Whichever character you choose, it will be essentially a same game with some differences in item placement, characters you'll meet and some different cutscenes. So it's definitely worth to play the game twice, at least once with each character. There's even a second run mode, which after completing the story with one character, allows you to play again with a different character, but the game ups the challenge, and again there are some differences than the standard playthrough. The story in a nutshell is Raccoon City is overrun with zombies and creatures, and you're trapped in the city, with your goal being, of course, to escape from the city. You'll learn about the Umbrella Corporation, a devious company responsible for the Raccoon City zombie outbreak. I honestly don't think I should say more about the story because I don't want to spoil anything for you, and chances are, with Resident Evil 2 being a famous PlayStation 1 game, you probably know the story already. Depending on which character you choose, you'll meet different companions in the story. If you choose Leon, you'll meet Ada, and if you choose Claire, you'll meet Sherry Birkin. Both of these characters have a small section where you can actually play with them. There are differences between this game and the PlayStation 1 original. The story is the same, but cutscenes are different and voice acting is much better than the original.
You gotta be kidding me. Get off of me!
Hey,
Who is that?
stay sharp.
In terms of gameplay, I think Resident Evil 2 Remake is a classic example of old meets new. This is a survival horror game with a modern twist on the formula. You'll spend most of your time in the Raccoon City Police Department, and in there you'll have to complete a series of puzzles in order to progress. It's one huge collectathon. That means exploring every room, combining items, managing your inventory, etc. It would be simple if the RCPD wasn't overrun with zombies. The gameplay, at least on the standard difficulty, strikes a careful balance in difficulty. You'll need to conserve your ammo because there isn't plenty of it. Zombies can be lethal if they catch you. You can pull a defensive maneuver by sticking a grenade or a knife in their throat. Zombies do take a fair bit of bullets to take down. You can aim for a headshot, but it's not gonna be an instant kill. They take quite a few bullets, or you can shoot them in the leg to make them fall to the ground and then just get past them. Or the preferable option, which you should utilize whenever possible, is just to avoid them completely and conserve ammo, cause you'll need it. You can even board up windows to prevent influx of zombies inside. Of course, zombies aren't the only enemies in this game. There are dogs, which are fast but do fall easily. Lickers are very interesting enemies, and especially when you're low on ammo, they can be a wreck for your nerves. Then there's some sewer creatures which you'll meet in the sewers, and a specific type of zombies later on in the last section of the game. The police station is the main and the longest section of the game, but it's also the one I enjoyed the most. It has the atmosphere of the original game. It's creepy and disturbing, but also attractive at the same time. It's the series' most iconic location. Near the half of your police station journey, you'll meet an enemy called Mr. X. He's a brute. It's an enemy that will haunt you till the end. He can't be killed and he can take you from fine to lower end of caution health status with just one hit. You can shoot him in the head, but that will only stop him for 15 seconds. But it may be enough for you to get distance from him. It's especially nerve-wracking hearing his footsteps. He will search you all over RCPD. You can avoid him by staying quiet and not causing a ruckus. Easier said than done. At first I thought he was cheap, but later I found him to be an awesome addition to the game. He's here to balance things out. In retrospect, the police station would be a fairly easy section of the game without him to balance things out. There is a good selection of guns, upgrades and inventory management. I'm glad they didn't get rid of inventory space limit. It adds a strategic element to the game. I'm glad, however, that you don't have to have ink ribbons to save your progress. At least, not on the standard difficulty. I think Resident Evil 2 Remake has an incredible atmosphere. You can feel the tension, especially when Mr. X is chasing you. It's a fantastic game, which retains the important survival horror elements while still feeling fresh. I only disliked the sewers section in the game. I thought it to be boring and uninspired, but it's fine. The game picks up after that section again, and the last section of the game is awesome, the lab, and it ups the challenge in that last part significantly. Resident Evil 2 Remake uses the RE engine previously seen in Resident Evil 7. It's gorgeous. The textures, models, lighting, everything looks really great. I played the game on the standard PlayStation 4 and the game runs at a stable frame rate without any dips or judder. The game is also available on the Xbox One and PC. In terms of longevity, Resident Evil 2 Remake is tough to judge. My first playthrough with Leon on standard took me about 9 hours. Then I finished the Claire campaign in about 7 hours and then the second run version with Claire again in about 6 hours. So if you want to experience all 4 possible scenarios, this could take you around 25 hours. And that's not including the 4th survival mode and Tofu mode, which is incredibly silly. Resident Evil 2 Remake shows that Capcom is back in business. Resident Evil 7 was awesome and the upcoming Devil May Cry game looks to be a smash hit. Resident Evil 2 Remake is a must-play for every true Resident Evil fan and a fan of survival horror games. It's a game that defined what survival horror is, and this remake just brings that back with a modern take and a few bells and whistles under its hood. If I had to give a score to this game, I would give it 9.9 out of 10. Just kidding, 10 out of 10.